Chapter 16 of The Thing from the Lake. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Recording by Roger Moline. The Thing from the Lake by Eleanor M. Ingram. Chapter 16. I have had a dream past the wit of man to say what dream it was. Midsummer Night's Dream. Mr. Locke! Mr. Locke! I opened heavy eyes to meet the eyes of Ethan Vere, who bent over me. Phillida was there too, pale of face. But what was that just vanishing into the darkness beyond my window sill? What malignant glare seared disappointment and grim promise across my consciousness? Had I brought with me, or did I hear now, a whispered, "Pygmy again"? "Cousin! Cousin, are you very ill?" Phillida was half sobbing. "Won't you drink the brandy, please? Oh, Ethan, how cold he is to touch!" "Hush, dear," Vere bade in his slow, steadfast way. "Mr. Locke, can you swallow some of this?" I became aware that his arm supported me upright in my chair while he held a glass to my lips. Mechanically I drank some of the cordial. Vere put down the glass and said a curious thing. He asked me, "Shall I get you out of this room?" Why should he ask that, since the specter was for me alone? Or, if he had not seen it, how did he know this room was an unsafe area? My stupefied brain puzzled over these questions, while I managed a sign of refusal. Any effort was impossible to me. The cold of the unearthly sea still numbed my body. My heart labored, staggering at each beat. Vere's support and nearness were welcome to me. His tact let me rest in the mute inaction necessary to recovery, while my body, astonished that it still lived, hesitatingly resumed the task of life. Somehow he reassured and directed Phillida. Presently she was busied with the coffee apparatus in the corner of the room. It was too much weariness even to turn my eyes aside from the expanse of the table before me. The vase was upset, I noted, as I had seemed to see it. The spray of purple heliotrope Phillida had put there the day before lay among the wet sheets of music. The book of Hermas lay open at the page I had last turned, the rosy lamplight upon the text. "Behold, I saw a great beast, that he might devour a city, whose name is Hegrin. Thou hast escaped, because thou didst not fear for so terrible a beast. If, therefore, ye shall have prepared yourselves, yet may escape." What did they mean, the old, old words men have rejected? What had Hermas glimpsed in his visions? How many men are written down liars because they traveled in strange lands indeed, and explorers strove to report what they had seen? Who before me had stood at the barrier and set foot on the frontier between the worlds? The fog still dense outside was whitening with daybreak. A few hours while the sun ran its course once more for me, then night again, bringing completion of the menace. I recognized that this delay could not affect the end. Perhaps it would have been easier if all had finished for me tonight, easier if Vere and Phillida had not found me in time to bring me back. How had they found out my condition? Wonder stirred under my lethargy. Had I called or cried out? It did not seem that I could have done so. Certainly I had not tried. I was not quite so poor an adventurer as that. Phillida was back with a cup of steaming black coffee, tiptoeing in her anxiety and questioning Vere with her eyes. He took the cup, stooping to receive my glance of assent to the new medicine. The brandy had stimulated but sickened me. The coffee revived me so much that I was able to take the second cup without Vere's help. When I had walked up and down the room a few times, leaning on his arm, life had taken me back, if only for a little while. The two nurses were so good in their care of me that our first words were of my gratitude to them. Then my curiosity found voice. "How did you happen to come in at this hour?" I asked. "How did you know I was ill?" "I cannot imagine what made Ethan wake up," said Phillida, with a puzzled look toward her husband. "He woke me by rushing out of the room and letting the door slam behind him. Of course I knew something must be wrong to make Drawls hurry like that. Usually he does such a tremendous lot in a day while looking positively lazy. So I came rushing after and found him in here, trying to waken you. I thought at first that you were not living, Cousin Roger. It was horrible. You were all white and cold." She shivered. Vere poured another cup of coffee. He said nothing on the subject, merely observing that the stimulant would hardly hurt me and some might be good for Phil. I asked her to bring cups for them both. "I am not sure I really care about the coffee, but I'll make some more," she nodded, dimpling. "I love to drink from your wee porcelain cups with their gold holders. You do have pretty things, you bachelors from town." When she was across the room, I asked quietly, "What was it, Vere? What sent you to me?" He answered in as subdued a tone, looking at the tinted shade of the lamp instead of at my face. "The young lady woke me, Mr. Locke. She came to the bedside, whispering that you were dying, would be dead if I didn't get to help you in time. She was gone before Phillida roused up, so she doesn't know anything about it." My heart, so nearly stopped forever and so lethargic still, leaped in a strong beat. Desire, then, had come back to save me. For all my doubt and seemingly broken faith, she had brought her slight power to help me in my hour of danger. For my sake she had broken through her mysterious seclusion to call Vere and send him to my rescue. Neither he nor I being unsophisticated, I understood what Vere believed, and why he looked at the lamp rather than at me. But even that matter had to yield precedence to my first eagerness. "You saw her?" I demanded. "You call her young. You saw her face, then?" "I could forget it if I had," he said dryly. "As it happened, I didn't. She was wrapped in a lot of floating thin stuff, gray, I guess. The room was pretty dark, and I was jumping out of sleep. I don't know why she seemed young, unless it was the easy, light way she moved. By the time I got what she was saying and sat up, she was gone." "Gone?" "She went out the door like a puff of smoke. I just saw a gray figure in the doorway, where the hall lamp made it brighter than in the room. When I came into the hall there wasn't a sign of anybody about. Nor afterward either." I considered briefly. "I suppose I know what you are thinking, Vere. It is natural, but wrong. The lady—" "Mr. Locke," he checked me, "I'm not thinking. I guess you're as good a judge as I am about what goes on in this house. After the way you've treated us from the first, I'd be pretty dull not to know you're as choice of Phillida as I am, and she is all that matters." "Who is?" demanded Phillida, returning. "Me? I haven't the least idea what you're talking about, Drawls, but I think Cousin Roger matters a great deal more than I do, just now. Perhaps now he is able to tell us about this attack, and if he should have a doctor. I have noticed for weeks how thin and grave he has been growing to be. If only he would drink buttermilk!" I looked into the candid, affectionate face she turned to me. From her I looked to her husband, whose New England steadiness had been